Hey, what's up, guys? Tuki here, back again. This is Rebuilding Hockey Town, and let's get right down to business. Yes, last episode was a classic. We won both trophies, but the work doesn't stop there. We have to move on, and the goal now becomes repeating as champions, doing it all over again. We've won 3 titles, 2 in a row with Grand Rapids. Now it's time to do it with Detroit. And as you can see, we have Pittsburgh's first round pick, so we have the 10th pick in the draft. Our draft pick situation, oh my god, if I'm remembering right, our draft pick situation is pretty kind. As expected, we lose Filppula for Met Richards and Coburn. Our draft pick situation is absurd, not to mention our current prospect situation, whether genuine prospects or players who are already looking to make the jump to the main team roster next year, such as Formenton and Riley Tufte. This offseason is going to be just stupid. It is going to be stupid as the Great 8 retires. Alex Ovechkin at 35 years old, 91 overall, says goodbye. A couple of other big names, Louis Eriksson, Brent Burns, Brent Seabrook also go. An interesting, somewhat early retirement there from Ovi. But I don't have a set plan, as per usual, as we head in to this draft, because I genuinely can't remember just how many picks we actually have. I'm pretty sure it's a lot, though. So let's double check. The problem with this is cap-wise, we're still good. Prospect-wise, we're still good. So with these picks, you know, you could argue like, oh, okay, well, trade. Let's see what it is. Is this? Oh yeah, Jesus, we got 4 first-round picks. Oh my god, and that's from trading away prospects last year like Wall, Van Pottelberg, and players who weren't going to make the team. We have to do that all over again. That's how we end up with so many picks. The problem is, I don't want these picks, but who can I possibly trade for? We already have great prospects, and we just have to wait for them to develop. The only thing I can really do is trade for the first overall pick. You know, it's basically all I can do, because other than that, there's no guarantees outside the top 10 for decent players. So what's the point, right? I mean, as it is, goaltending-wise, I thought that might have been a question. You know, trading Tristan Jarry and picks to get somebody else was a part of the plan. Jarry is the man. He won us the cup. And as it is, he might be getting traded anyway because Ian Scott might be ready. If Ian Scott jumps to about an 87, he'd be a legit starter. So I genuinely don't know what to do here. So I think really quick, I'm just going to scroll through the teams. Let's see if there's anybody out there that I really want to get. And you know what? For the hell of it, for shits and giggles, let's look back over the team. As, you know, top 6, you could argue Dylan Larkin maybe sealed his spot. I mean, it's tough to say. We could go out and get another center. Defensively, I mean, we could look for a legit top 2 defenseman. Darnell Nurse is going to be a top 4. So we could use these picks to go out and try to get a line mate for Hronik, who will most likely become a legit top 2 defenseman. So we could do that. Of course, we have Rasmus Dahlin in the system. Haig, Liljegren, Green, Sarjarvi. Oh my god. It happens so quick. It's a snowball effect where just all of a sudden, oh yeah, shit, look at that. We're an amazing team. It just happens so quickly. But let's go ahead here. And yeah, Hampus Lindholm's a top 4. I don't know. We may very well just end up trading up into the top 5 as much as possible. I don't know. If you wanted realism in this series, look away now, because that's done. That's done. Like, see, I could go out and get somebody like Bodie Wild, for example, but the problem is, at a 78 overall, there's a strong chance that he could turn into a low 82, 83 even, and he might be NHL ready, in which case we'd have to trade him away again. But he's not a bad option. I could go for OEL. He's not on a terrible contract. If I had to guess right now, Bodie Wild might be the guy that I target here, but we'll keep taking a look. Charlie McAvoy. Charlie McAvoy. Now that would be interesting. That would be interesting. You also have Eric Simpson from the Bruins. So, I'd say right now, maybe, like, do I want to be cheap and get McAvoy? That's the problem. That is the problem. I genuinely don't know what to do. And actually, let me go back and look at goaltenders on Arizona. Again, the problem with this is, like, you know, it's kind of difficult for me to scout this out because, again, I wasn't sure exactly how many picks I had. So before this episode, I couldn't go and check to, you know, scout out other teams to see what I wanted to do. Ristolainen, yeah, he is a top two. He is a top two. See, like, there are options for sure. There are options. Or I can just acquire the number 1 overall pick. And even then, though, I still have so many seconds and all that shit. It's just, it is a mess. It's an embarrassment of riches at this point. Holy shit, speaking of embarrassment of riches, the defense right now in Carolina. Holy shit. I also have Hughes. So that could be an option. I meant to hit the right trigger. Whoops. Whoops, I say. Let's see here. Nobody there for goaltenders. Defense, Seth Jones, Zach Werenski. And Werenski might not be the worst option. I don't know, man. I don't know. As it is, we already got prospects. We already have prospects. Like, I'm hoping to scroll through here and see one player where it just kind of hits me. Like, yep, that's who I want. And so far, that hasn't happened yet. Like, I'm thinking Bodie Wild and maybe the other defenseman who was on Carolina, Quentin Hughes. But, again, that's risky because if we pick them up and they develop, you know, heavily over the offseason, then we're stuck with even further issues. So, if I had to guess, and at the very least you can, hey, Nastasiuk made it up to an 88. Holy shit. Well, there's a guy we don't regret trading him based on how this has gone. But Colorado has an interesting team. Damn. Including Nastasiuk, who made it up to an 88 overall. Well, how do you like that? He doesn't have the same picture that he did, does he? That looks weird. I could have sworn that. I swear to God, it looks like an updated picture or something like that. Maybe they updated pictures with the last roster update. I have no idea. But anyway, of course they have Cholowski as well. I don't know what to do, guys. I'm sorry. So we'll probably just make the picks. We could trade for Braden Holtby. We won't be doing that. So it's just like, do I trade for prospects? Like, I could steal this guy from Dallas, the number 1 overall pick in 2019. There's no one jumping off the page that I really want because as it is, the prospects we already have are going to they're still going to progress. They're not going to transform. They're not fucking Transformers. But they are still going to progress into the high caliber players that we want. So I don't fucking know. I don't know, but if I gotta do my due diligence here, we'll scroll through every team. And like I said, we can at least give you guys a look at certain players available. Aaron Ekblad. I almost want to try to trade for him just out of spite. Just out of spite for the fact that he has max value. Maybe he's the guy. Maybe he's the guy. Like I said, we could definitely still use a top 2 defenseman. And who knows? Maybe he's the guy. I don't know. Goalie-wise, we're not really finding anybody that's any better than Tristan Jarry. A lot of the high-end goalies are aging now. You just saw Devin Dubnyk, who was a little bit up there. Eli Tolvanen was an option. I could pick him up. I still don't know. if I want to pick him up. Like, high top 6 is good. 22 years old. It's almost like, yeah, I might as well, just because of the amount of picks I have. But again, I'm trying to keep that in the back of my mind, that it's a little bit concerning. Yeah, we'll scroll past him for now. Let's keep checking out these teams. We're about halfway through, and I haven't made a pick in a draft video. But if you're not new to my channel, you know to expect this. If you are new to my channel, you will now know to expect this. My draft videos tend to take quite a while. I used to have them go by fairly quickly. now it's not that I stopped giving a shit, because that's not the right word for it. It's just now, why? Fuck it. I have no explanation for it. It's not laziness and not wanting to edit. It's just, meh, screw it. Take you along for the ride. If I have to sit here and scroll through these menus anyway, I might as well talk the entire time and at least entertain myself while scrolling through. There are no goalies. There are no defensemen that I want, other than Ekblad at this point. I think I might give up on the goalie hunt here, because there just isn't anybody who's advantage yet and made it up to a 91. Like I said, at least 2. I mean, you know, if you like to know how your favorite teams panned out, you can at least take a look and see their most valuable players as I scroll through this. So look at it that way. Look at it that way. You at least get to look to see what your favorite team looks like at this point. No, I'm not getting Erik Karlsson. I'm not getting Erik Karlsson. I've done that in far too many series. I hate when I accidentally hit the A button before I hit the right trigger. Annoying. But let's see. Is there anybody? Voracek? No, thank you. Provorov? Meh. He's good, but meh. Holy shit. I figured it'd be like, oh, I could get this guy, I could get that guy. It's like, no, there's just nobody really jumping off the page that I actually want. Funny thing is, I could probably trade for Sidney Crosby right now if I want to, but why would I? Look at who we already have. Like I said, I know we could use another top-end center. And we could use another high-end defenseman, which, in fairness, in time, we will get once our own players develop. So, but we also have these crazy amount of picks. I could get Colton Parayko back. I haven't used him in a series in a while. You know, the goalie we could get is, I guarantee Thatcher Demko is going to have the highest value, and Parayko is going to be up there as well. Have a little Vancouver reunion. If you haven't seen that series, of course, go check that out. I could almost try to trade for Tarasenko out of spite as well, but he is not a center. He is not a center. Who else do we have? I mean, Stamkos is there, Kucherov, Drouin. But we just want a cup without you all. That's the problem. We don't need you. We're good enough on our own, damn it. But fuck it. Let's just see what happens here. Is there anybody else? We've almost made it through the list. Morgan Riley. Austin Matthews has full trade value. Oh my god. I'm already hating myself for the way this video is going, but meh. It is what it is. Just throw my hands up in the air and say, hey, whatever. Yeah, the best goalie we could get is Thatcher Demko. Or we can stick with Tristan Jarry, because he just won us a cup, and we've used Thatcher Demko in the past. That's another part of the problem. There's a lot of these good players we've ended up using before, and I kind of want to use some different players. Alright, well, as I kind of expected, although Rollo, someone said how to pronounce it, he would be an ideal person to try and pick up. Yeah, Washington, I want him. You can go fuck yourself, I'm taking him. Actually, hold on. I'll spare you for a second. Let me see who's on the big board. We don't even know who's available to be drafted. So top 5, we have a Swedish defensive defenseman, Henrik Åkerlund. We have Finn, Kari Konttinen. We have Louis DeRozier. And, exact elite Vic Marsh. Don't mind if I do. We're trading for the number 1 overall pick. Never mind. We are trading for the number 1 overall pick. They don't want to trade it, which is fine by me. We have the assets to give up. So, yeah. So, at the very least, I am just convincing myself that the first half of this video wasn't absolutely terrible by just saying, hey, at least people got to see their favorite teams, right? So, there you go. Look at it that way. That's the way I'm looking at it. People got to get a look at their teams. So that's all good. What is it going to cost to get this first overall pick from the Columbus Blue Jackets? They don't want to trade it. I'm willing to give up whatever I have to do to get it. Vic Marsh is going to be a Detroit Red Wing because I have absolutely no need for all of these picks. And as it is, I'm going to end up with even more first-round picks after we go through the rest of the offseason anyway. So it doesn't really matter if I overspend. And it'll help Columbus rebuild. So we're being nice. We are the Santa Claus of draft picks. So, there you go. Oh my god, this is taking forever. Oh my god. We're going to have to give up that other first, aren't we? We're going to have to give up that other first. Yep. Alright. 4 first-round picks for Vic Marsh. It'll be worth it. It will be worth it. Will that go through? Still no. Holy shit, I might not actually be able to get this guy. Holy shit. Oh my god. I just want to do this trade now because it's funny. What the hell? They just don't want to give up that pick. Alright, well here. How about this? Who was the second pick? LA. Let's trade for the number 2 overall pick first. Yeah, because they want to get rid of it anyway. Sweet. And then we'll see if we can convince Columbus to switch. But let's see. So we have the Pittsburgh pick, and then how about a third? Is that enough to get them to switch? Nope. Alright. Another third would probably be enough. But how about 2 fourths? How's that sound to you, LA? How would you like to move down a little bit? Apparently not. So I guess they want that other third round pick from the Rangers. And they will get it. Still didn't go through. I'm taking this pick. You guys don't have a choice. That number 1 overall pick is going to be mine. And then if I want to go out and get other prospects, I'll do that too. I will get what I want, damn it. I own the NHL. So there we go. We get that pick from LA. Did we overspend? Of course we did. Doesn't really matter though. Doesn't matter at all. So, Columbus. About that pick of yours. About that pick of yours. How does 2 second-round picks to go along with it sound? No? How about 3 second-round picks? How does that sound? Pretty please? I thought that was going to go through. There was actually a slight delay there. What are the most valuable? So the Pittsburgh pick, the Ranger pick, and how about this Bruins pick? How does that sound? Apparently not good enough. Let's tack on that extra second. Come on, Columbus. You know you want to. There you go. See, it wasn't that much easier. And we still have 2 other first-round picks if I want to go after anybody, as well as 3 fifths and 2 sixths. We also have another first-round pick next year from Winnipeg. Unbelievable. Here we go. Vic Marsh. Let's hope you're good. Let's hope you're good. Exact elite potential, huh? 2-way forward from Switzerland, because that's the most stereotypical Swiss name you can think of. Vic Marsh. Come on down, Vic. How good are you? How good? Medium elite. Now, that was to be expected. The question is, what is his trade value? How valuable is he? Is he good? It's not bad, I guess. That's not bad. I mean, I should have probably used the picks to just go out and get a player, but who gives a shit? So who was I thinking of getting earlier? Oh, it was the guy from Washington, right? Because I don't feel like making these picks. Who gives a shit? So it was Rollo. So, how do you like the idea of being a Detroit Red Wing? And how does Washington like the idea of having first-round picks? How about 2 of them? Sound good to you? Apparently not good enough. Now, I don't think the fifths will be enough to convince them, but it's worth a shot. Now, see, if I had that extra fifth, they would have accepted it, right? Right? Tell me I'm right. I'm not going to be right. No. All right, that's fine. That is fine. How about a nice, shiny third-round pick? 2 third-round picks next year from your friends, the Detroit Red Wings and the Winnipeg Jets? Apparently not. You can't stop this. This is happening. You are going to trade me this player. It's just a matter of how painful you want it to be. Because Jesus, out of context, that could be just awful. My God, this episode. Anyway, fucking hell. Oh my God. Alright, moving on. 3 first-round picks for this guy. No? Okay, fuck it. I'll just make the picks. Whatever. Holy shit. Who else is on the board? We need to move on. We need to move on. So, Ackerland, Wilkinson, Kontanen, and DeRozier. And there's 2 goalies, Seven and Millman. There's just nobody I want. There's just nobody I want. So you know what? Fuck it. I'm getting that guy from Washington, and that'll pretty much conclude our draft video by making one pick and maybe a couple of picks in the 5th round. But Washington, we are taking this player from you. You will accept our draft picks, and you will accept the fact that we are now the dominant force in the Eastern Conference. Thank you, fuck you, bye. Let's see. Our 1st round next year. We already offered this, didn't we? Yep, we did. Oh, don't you get lippy with me. Don't you get fucking lippy with me. I'm trying to do you a favor here and help rebuild your team instead of having the one player who could really lead the charge. I'm just trying to help you out in general with a ton of picks. 4 first rounders? Really? That's what it's going to take for this guy, huh? That's what it's going to take for this guy. Fine by me. Wow. Jesus, they really don't want to trade him, do they? Oh my God. How about the Winnipeg 2nd? Will that go through? I mean, if this doesn't go through, wow. All right. Well, Washington, I give you credit. You stood by your guns and you didn't trade him. Now, wasn't the other guy who was really good on Dallas? Not Edmonton. Not Edmonton. Pascale. And they want to trade him. He's on the block. So we'll get this guy instead for far less. Certainly not 4 first-round picks, for the love of God. Let's do this. 2 firsts. Ba-ba-da. Have our 3rds next year. Is that good enough? Yes, it is. We overpaid. I don't care. Who cares? We still have a ton of picks this year anyway. Can I jump up to like a 3rd-round pick with this? I just actually here. You know what? Who's rebuilding? New Jersey. We'll be nice to you. You can give us your 3rd-round pick next year for all of this garbage. Really? Okay. Well, okay. You can give us your 4th-round pick and your 5th-round pick and your 6th-round picks and ba-da-ba-da next year. How's that sound? Thank you. I don't need any more picks in this draft. I don't give a shit. We got what we came for. We got what we came for. So let's move to the next round, and we'll at least look at who I passed up on in this draft. Because, yeah, I traded up for the #1 overall pick and then did nothing. But let's see. Wilkinson was medium elite. Ackerland, who I probably would have taken, is high top 6. Vauclair, who wasn't top 5 projected, medium elite. Continent, medium elite. DeRozier, medium elite. Millman, medium elite. Semin, medium elite. Turns out this is a pretty good draft. So, hold on 1 second. Let me mark down who we want to look at here. So we want to look at CBJ. We want to look at the Rangers, the Arizona Coyotes, the Devils, the Sabres, and Millman, Pittsburgh, and Washington. All right, let's go look at these teams and the players they picked up. First of all, I guess the rest of the 1st round for all the shits and giggles. There you go. Let's go take a look at the value of those players that we passed up on. Starting off with the Arizona Coyotes and the player they just picked up, which was Vauclair. I don't regret missing out on him at all. Next up, we got Buffalo. Anybody on the Sabres who was interesting? They ended up with DeRozier. He's not terrible. I don't regret missing out on him. We go to Columbus, the Boost. Columbus. Who do you have? Wilkinson. He's pretty good. We could have traded up for him, but we did get the guy from Dallas. I don't even know his name. I can't be bothered to try and remember his name. Turns out he was pretty good, though. Future player, probably, with the amount of 1st-round picks we're going to end up with. We'll probably end up trading for him. Or at this point, I can just get all my picks and then just hand the worst teams in the league a 1st-round pick for a 7th so that they can rebuild. Continent's not terrible. 76 overall, 18 years old. So that was actually a pretty good pick. The Rangers. Trying to see how many pronunciations of each team name I can do. They ended up with Ackerland. Not terrible. And then the 2 goalies on Pittsburgh and Washington. So far a couple of guys who I could have traded up to get, but I took the sure bets instead. Millman is actually pretty good. 66 overall at 19 years old, as you would kind of expect for a goalie projected inside the top 10. And then Semin is also pretty damn good. 61 overall at 19 years old. Neither of those goalies would really help us out, though, if you think about it, because, I mean, they're 60 overalls. It's going, we're in win now mode, and we're already good to go with Ian Scott. And, I mean, Tristan Jarry. He just won us a cup after all. So that will do it for this draft. In 25 minutes or so of this episode, I made one pick. I made the one pick, the number one overall pick. Again, I told you from the start, I had no set plan for this draft. You can kind of see why, because of the absurd situation we were in. But there you have it. We have our guy. We went out, made a trade, picked up another guy who I think is also a center. So it all works out in the end. But the good news is this episode's over. Was it a train wreck? I don't know if I consider it that, but pretty close. But in the next episode, we move on to the re-sign phase. We have $42 million to spend. And the good news is it is now time to start re-signing some of our players. Vic Marsh can be signed to the AHL, so you'll see him down there next year, 77 overall at 19 years old. Pascale is already signed, 77 overall at 20 years old. We have a tiny bit of work to do, but overall, it's not too concerning. Again, the big thing next episode isn't going to be the re-sign phase. It's going to be getting to the preseason and then seeing who we have to get rid of, because a lot of players are going to be shipped out. We're going to end up with even more first-round picks, and we'll be in the same situation we were in the next draft. The vicious cycle has begun. Learn to love it. Learn to live with it. It is the reality of this series, guys. I will catch you next time. If you enjoyed this video, of course, hit that like button, support the channel, subscribe if you haven't already to continue following this series and others. I'll see you guys in the next one.